You already know it's easy in the building. I want to thank my Heavenly Father, etc., etc., with all due respect to the all unknown. But this is urgent and it's in my heart to do. And if it, and I don't even believe that, so it's not going to even be said. Um, the one that was gifted with a bump, well, to the one that was involved, you know, that was close to me, um, my serious last relationship that I was truly in. Be careful, watch yourself. It's serious. Whoever you know that was gifted with a boat is going to eliminate your coat that, you know, you try to be initiated in, or, already was initiated in. It's now, trying to cover their tracks, and not just cover their tracks, but, eliminate, try to eliminate the, you know, the turmoil that all of y'all are going through for your circumstances. This is what it means in the Bible to, be careful for what you wish for. And that's even including, especially including for others. For real, that you wish a person dead, you wish a person harm, you wish a person grief, you wish, person sickness or anything of any type of, projection that is truly not on that person's timeline, or the things that, befall our lives is truly, especially ailments, is truly how we govern ourselves in thought and taking care of this vessel, our vehicle, the temple that's supposed to be purified, cleaned, and maintained holy. You know how you have, you know, HEAD type of people that constantly cleaning, germaphobes and stuff like that, that their house is spotless. All of us supposed to be like that within our vessel, within our spirit, within our mindset. And it will always, accumulate dirt because dirt exists and it has a purpose. There's truly levels to this shit, you know, before my awakening, or in the awakening that I resided in at the time, in my younger years. I always felt that, evil should be eradicated completely, eliminated in one day, and one day it would be. But in my growing, even with my, still my discontent of it, being done just for it to be being done. And it's not even like that. 'Cause like I said, as I've grown, it's a more complicated understanding, and we can't you can't truly argue with it. You can't argue God with it. Not just because He's God and He knows all, or she know all, or however in your mind you perceive your almighty Creator. That everything is necessary, even if you don't understand it. And there is a promise that it will truly end, but we within ourselves, within our vessels, supposed to be working on ourselves for that to happen. It's not looking at somebody else and pointing the finger at them. It's truly focusing on oneself, realizing, you know, what needs to be cleaned, what needs to be, remodeled, what needs to be destroyed, what needs to be created within oneself and pass it on. Can't make somebody do it, but you pass it on. And if you have young ones, start passing it on now. And as you grow in your understanding, also allowing yourself to be molded by, the Creator, the all master sculptor. We feel that we already made perfect, genuinely, unknowingly, unconsciously, with a knowing, but don't have no idea of why we feel that way, or why we feel that we should feel that way, or even know that that needs to be controlled, that it needs to be monitored, that you know, it needs to be looked at every now and then to make sure that it's not out of line within you. And if it's truly integrated, it would show. And when you speak it to whoever you speak it to, they will have to acknowledge it, even if they don't at first. But eventually they will, for the simple fact they see they see the change, they see the growth, they see the peace, they see something that they truly can't explain, and it will make them want to understand more. You wouldn't have to force it on nobody. You wouldn't have to, yell at the top of your lungs, because it will gravitate to you. But be mindful, all energies is going to, gravitate to you, especially the opposite polarities for the super. Even though it's supposed to be, opposites supposed to be propelled, propel each other away from each other. But it also, be drawn at a time until it sees that it can't, you know, attach itself until it's ready, until, you know, they make whatever changes it needs to make within themselves to be able to, you know, really resonate and flow with whatever, you know, they trying to interact with, especially if it's a positive. You know, it's easy to connect to a negative, but to connect to a positive, it's pretty hard when, especially if you not on that same positive, you know, mindset frequency. You know, it's like with magnets. You know, how you try to put two magnets together and what you call it, it won't click. But if you flip one of the magnets, it automatically snaps together. That's that's you know, like a version, or, you know, a visual of basically what we going through mentally, physically, spiritually, energetically, and not knowing that that great process is going on, or should be guided to, you know, its best outcome, is an atrocity. It's how you say, a genocide. It's a true dishonor to one's life, and we don't even know it, or majority of us don't even know it, or haven't, you know, reached that understanding. Being chosen sounds real special. It looks real special, but it takes a lot to even reach that. And, you know, with all blessings, if and when you do reach that, it's a new level, new devils, and a new experience that you done screamed, begged, prayed, wished, even planned. And when it's handed to you, and if it's handed to you, because, you know, you have to hit certain milestones with understanding and adapting, evolving to the new program, the new, you know, the new update. You know, you gotta be willing. You gotta even see the program. And how you do that is by going in within, being in your quiet place, if you can, for 5, 10 minutes. If you have longer, that's even more of a blessing. You know, the more solitude with yourself, with no distractions, the more you get to free yourself mentally. You hear your thoughts. You're not feeding off of somebody else's feedback. That, you know, that gets drowned out in the beginning, it might still be there, but as persist on taking time for yourself and wanting to know you, the real you, the you that ain't gonna lie to itself, to you that's going to show you how terrible you could truly be, the true you that'll show you how good you could be, and the true you that governs and integrates both to be the perfect vessel for oneself and everything that you ever desired will be handed to you. It has no choice but to be handed to you. And the new test begins. The new part of the journey begins. The journey never ends. It's an infinite thing. Don't ever forget that in this lifetime, the next lifetime, and throughout all infinite time, if you remember it or not. But at the same time, remember it, because it will be said to you again. It will be presented to you again. And when it is, and when it does, another part of your journey opens up, because you realize something, even if you didn't understand it. And then when you do understand it, or get comfortable with it, get intimate with it, it opens up into so much more. Be patient with yourselves. Be strict with yourselves. Pick apart everything. Now, don't beat yourself up, but pick apart everything. And where you feel you could do better, be mindful of it, because it will show up again. Because it's already most likely part of your program, something that you already set into, practice. So now you gotta set to, reprogram yourself with the new practice by being mindful that you truly don't want the old practice to continue, because it no longer serves you. It's outdated. It can't perform like it needs to perform in the situations that in, the near or far future that we will face on our journey. So walk with no fear, because fear is just the fear of the unknown. And the unknown is life, understanding and experience to the fullness. I'm tired of the world's insecurities, of them feeling somebody is better than them, or that they feel that that person thinks they better than them, when all that is truly them talking to them. Now, if you do have an individual that's coming out their mouth like that, then you have all rights. But at the same time, do you do that? Be mindful of that too. Be able to accept or get over what a lot of us unconsciously deal out and consciously when it becomes so, embedded or, utilized. It tends to work on its own in the background and in the foreground when it decides to. And if you ain't present and in control of your emotions, your mindsets, your actions, you truly on autopilot. And that's living a dead life. That's not living with purpose. It's not, you know, you just live, you just alive. You're not living. You're a dead person walking around, zombie, vampire, and everything else that's alive that shouldn't be alive. What's sad is that we unconsciously and some of us consciously actually work to make that happen, not knowing as you believe that you succeeded in doing those heinous acts that you're truly doing it to yourself because you never focusing on you. You're always focusing on everything else. So when you are awakened or, you know, you know, tapped on your shoulder and pointed out where you at in your situation, you'll know why. You'll understand how. Even though at the moment you weren't. Because you was walking in tunnel vision. You was walking with the blinders on as you attacking, when hunt, how you say, hunters, all hunters, animal, human, you know, they in they, you know, hunting mode. Everything got to be focused. Everything got to be timed. Everything got to be exact for you to get your prey. If not, you just wasted a whole lot of energy and have to regain energy to perform it again. And in the wild, your first shot is your best shot. But as you focusing on what you focusing on for whatever you focusing it on for, you're not aware that something else. And 9 times out of 10, something else is focusing on you like that. So my advice to the world is, let's stop hunting each other. Because we already got a lot of things hunting us that we're not aware of. And if you are aware, it is your job to be a siren and put other people on, to leave your brothers and sisters blind too. a serious truth. It's a disrespect, a dishonor to you, to the human race, and to, your direct lineage, which is still the human race. We all want honor. We all want respect. We all want some type of prestige. You don't have to be grand, but everybody wants to be acknowledged. And you're absolutely right. You're supposed to be acknowledged. You exist. And you're worth something. You'll always be worth something. Never forget that. Number one, fuck you worth something. All of us is priceless. There is no price that you can put on us. There is no true price you can put on yourself. But if you agree to a price, that's on you. And at the same time, you can't sell yourself anyway because you don't belong. You belong to the all in all. Truly. Also being a disrespect to yourself. Something to think about, people. And I'm not trying to be perfect, but this is my thinking. This is my ideology. This is my spirit and heart and mindset, channeling the purest of the pure that, dwells within me. And that's all I'm going to do is be me and evolve to what I believe to be all. That's the best way I can put it. To be all in all, which I already am, which we all already are. It's just having that exact understanding, knowing, belief, and going with that. You know, I want to bless the world. I want, all the trees, the air, the earth, every, green thing, every animal, every herb, every, fowl, everything in the sea to restore itself to its greatness, to its, you know, purest alive form. Imagine how, if you go back in the prehistoric days, how healthy and plush all the trees, all the grass, you know, everything was bigger. The air was fresher, purer. The, your lifespan, the nutrients, that was in everything. My prayers to be restored, recycled, renewed through everything and everything. In all. Amen.